Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, tabled before this National Assembly is the 2014 budget, presented by the Honorable Minister of Finance on March 24th, under the theme, A Better Guyana for All Guyanese. Sir, the budgeted amount for 2014 is 220 billion, and it's once again the largest ever. Mr. Speaker, every year, hundreds of millions are spent through poor government policies, waste, bad planning, and poor execution, and to date, there has not been any significant improvement in the standard of living of Guyanese. Mr. Speaker, a country's budget must be a financial plan of what is to be done to point the economy in the right direction of transformation that will overcome the challenges and bring comfort and happiness to all Guyanese. Prior to this budget, sir, the APNU embarked on a series of consultations with several stakeholders, and we visited various communities in the regions to solicit their views on issues that they see as important in their lives, and what are their needs and concerns, and what they feel should be done to address these. Mr. Speaker, I recall that during 2013 budget debate, I spoke about some critical problems affecting the people of Region 5. And to date, the situation remains the same. Although persons are being paid large sums of money by this government to do a house-to-house campaign to find out people's problems. Mr. Speaker, the problems are before us. So what is the purpose of this exercise? I will again remind the government of a few of these problems that still exist and is of great concern to the people of the region. Mr. Speaker, problem number one, the exorbitant toll to cross the Berbice River Bridge, unavailability of jobs, drainage and irrigation, daily threats to human safety, robberies, murders, abuse, suicides, lack of proper health care facilities, irregular supply of potable water in some areas, lack of electricity, bad or non-existent roads, flooding, lack of access roads to farmlands, and poverty. Mr. Speaker, unemployment have created an army of beggars, drug addicts, destitute people, wandering boys and girls, and street children. Mr. Speaker, university graduates, talented teachers, nurses, and thousands of ordinary people or citizens race to migrate from their homeland. I can go on and on with the problems, but these are some of the problems that need urgent attention, yet the government ignored the needs of the people and placed people house to house to seek problems. The words of the National Assembly prayer speaks of dealing justly with many causes that come before us, laying aside, sir, all private interests, and it is my sincere hope that in 2014, the words of this prayer is remembered. Mr. Speaker, I now turn to rice. In section 416 of the budget, the minister made mention of government's excellent performance in the rice industry in recent years. The investments in improved drainage and irrigation, infrastructure, and improved access to affordable fertilizer. But Mr. Speaker, all is not well in this rice industry. There is a crisis. Rice farmers across Guyana are suffering, sir. It is time, therefore, for the government to recognize the plight of the farmers. There is need for implementation of a program to aggressively market Guyana's rice. Guyana has presently on hand approximately 100,000 tons of rice yet to be sold, sir. Why is government not looking to increase the rice export? We are having a backlog of rice at mills and yet to be shipped. And this is causing a slowdown in the process. And millers don't want to get into problems of buying paddy that they can't pay for. And Mr. Speaker, this is causing a strain too on the millers. Rice farmers are owed in excess of 300 million by millers for 2013. Where is the payment plan? Sir, the government can't be saying to farmers crop after crop that payments will be made and then there is none forthcoming. The government, Mr. Speaker, the government has heard this before. Rice farmers need a timely plan. They must be paid timely because it's all about timings once you're a farmer. The rice market is flooded with rice and the price is less this year. There is no proper control rice price. How can this be, sir? There are some farmers who are paid as low as $3,000 per bag, and the cost for production is very high. The farmers have to buy seed paddy, chemical, fertilizer, and fuel. Mr. Speaker, there is also the high cost of transportation, labor, and harvesting. How will these farmers survive, especially small farmers who see farming at this time as digging a hole to fill another hole right now? The government needs to engage all stakeholders in the rice industry, need to engage farmers, millers, exports, the providers of support service to formulate strategies to ensure long-term profitability and growth. Sir, constructive discourse is urgently needed to take the rice industry forward. Despite claims of higher paddy yield and increase in production, the rice industry is on shaky ground. The government has an obligation to assist, to stabilize the process, to benefit farmers and ensure that the necessary systems are put in place to protect the livelihood from loss due to floods, disease, and infections. Mr. Speaker, farmers need protection, and this should be a priority. Sir, floods are a horrible manifestation of government's management style and supposed commitment to the improvement of drainage and irrigation in this country. There must be a flood prevention plan suitable for every area, for no two areas are the same. Sir, maintenance, procedures, and management has caused most of the problems and that farmers face today, and this is affecting all farmers in Guyana. In the area of research, Mr. Speaker, the Burma Research Station has been realizing new lines of new varieties, and farmers are being encouraged to make full use of this because these new varieties will ensure that they harvest more bags per acre and they can withstand any harsh climate condition. Sir, this encouragement to farmers for a number of years is not only words, but farmers are saying that they are unable to access these new varieties at the Burma Station. Honorable Minister, they are often told that they don't have enough. Even the common seed plant is difficult for farmers to access through the rice station. Yet, Mr. Speaker, some groups, special groups of farmers are benefiting from this service. The Honorable Minister needs to correct the situation immediately. Mr. Speaker, agriculture is our business in Region 5, and we are looking forward to achieving an appropriate level of food security through a sustainable approach in addressing the key obstacles faced by farmers and stakeholders. So, sir, no amount of relief from government can compensate the farmers when they lose millions of dollars. The government needs to tell the farmers why they are not considering to establish an agriculture development bank, Mr. Speaker. In light of this request, several farmers have been pleading year after year, crop after crop. And this, sir, the small farmers are challenged because rice is all about timings and they cannot afford in the preparation service. There is constant flooding in Region 5, especially south of the main canal, Honorable Minister. There are quite a number of small farmers that are indebted to MMA, and the only choice for them to survive is to sublet their lands because they don't have the means to work the land. Mr. Speaker, the current trend of repossession that the scheme has adopted is not the solution. These farmers have to put food on their family's table, and agriculture is their only business of survival. That is what they've been doing for all their life. I trust the 2014 we will see farmers overcoming the various barriers that are currently existing. Management having more consultation with these farmers. Mr. Speaker, the farmers of Strathcampbell and Washclose, that is in the Mahaicony area, are still awaiting the continuation of the Port Bayaboo Canal to link to the Butanabu Creek to ease their drainage problem in that area. Mr. Speaker, the mouth of the Abari River needs to be desilted urgently to assist farmers south of the main canal. And so the season is right. It is dry right now. And I'm saying to the Honorable Minister, this is the appropriate time for such an exercise. Marketing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we visited regions, as I said earlier. The leader and I went into Baracaro, that is up the Borbis River. And there are farmers there that are planting all kinds of crops, you name it. Corn, pumpkin, borer, okra, and I can go on and on. Mr. Speaker, it is amazing that these farmers down that river, they don't have nothing to market in their crops. They are cutting their pumpkins by the hundreds, laying it in the field. And after then, sir, they have to dump all down the river. Down the river, because there's no way that they could market it. The Honorable Member, Mr. Hamilton, is saying that we need solution. And I'm saying to the Honorable House tonight, marketing. In each region should have a GMC, Ghana Marketing Corporation, so that you could take your produce there and the government will take it from there and do what they have to do and make sure that farmers live comfortable. Mr. Speaker, I now turn my attention to housing and water. It grieves me to speak about things over and over. Nobody is listening. It's time the government ministers come from a hearing place to a listening place. And so, Mr. Speaker, I will continue to do so until these concerns are addressed. The residents of number 22 Bell here, on the west coast of Berbice, they are squatting there, Mr. Speaker, and they are clamoring for years to be regularized in order to access electricity and potable water in their homes. Mr. Speaker, these are concerns for the people. These are the problems that we are speaking about. So I don't know why you are paying people to go and solicit concerns. I am bringing the concern here in this National House. The deplorable state of the government house in the MMA ADA compound and the police houses in the Fort Wellington compound, they are all ice scores. Waste of taxpayers' money, sir. People need homes. And why can't these buildings be repaired so that people could get them to live, Mr. Speaker? Let the government listen to the problems and the concerns of the people of Region 5. So there is need for government to put in place a system where persons who have lands and do not have documentation to access potable water, that they can go to the various ministries or agencies and say that this land is my land, and the government need to say, well, yes, I can see that this land is your land, but you don't have the source documents, and so that I could assist to get this important, to give them consideration to this important source of life. Mr. Speaker, residents of Burma have serious problems accessing potable water. Most cross streets in Region 5 has problems accessing this potable water. On page 42, section 4.85 of the budget, it mentioned of a vision for better living conditions for Guyanese. So I hope that I do not have to repeat this next budget debate. Youth, sports, and culture. Mr. Speaker, the unresponsiveness in which issues are being handled indicates that government is not ready to work constructively for the good of all Guyanese. Guyana needs a business competitive environment to create jobs for our jobless young people. And Mr. Speaker, sports and culture must be government's concern as part of the effort to create a healthy and happy lifestyle for all. That we give them the opportunities to keep fit, focused, and active in an organized way. And this, Mr. Speaker, will help us to regain our national pride. The government needs to take sports off the streets, sir. Every region must have adequate recreational facilities. The village of Perth, Strathcampbell, Litchfield, Yeovil, number 28 in Region 5 are without such facilities. There is also the need to develop and upgrade existing facilities. Youths of Region 5 need a platform for music. They need one for drama and arts. Our special needs children need proper care and design facilities to assist them in their growth. I hope that Region 5 will benefit from the 300 million that has been mentioned on page 47, paragraph 4101, for the enhancement of grounds countrywide. So,
remember, you have 5 minutes to finish the wrap up.
Energy, power generation supply. This is getting nowhere in Region 5, Mr. Speaker. This government has included the allocation of 3.7 billion to support the company, and that amount to benefit 170 of GPS customers and their families. Sir, 18,000 laptops are also to be distributed in 2014. I would like to know how families of Ithaca, number 30, Honorable Minister, Prime Minister, the 40 homes of number 30 Cross Streets, number 9, number 8, number 22 Bel Air, Catherine, Calcutta, all these cross streets, Mr. Speaker. They are without electricity. How will they benefit from the one laptop per family? Mr. Speaker, is our government saying to the people, you are not qualified? It is disappointing that at this information and technology age, that some of our citizens are still using lamps, sir. They cannot view and enjoy a simple television program. Mr. Speaker, the amount to request a poll for one person is $238,000 per person in a cross street for electricity. How will these poor people access such? You can recall I spoke about road lights, Mr. Speaker, and we need these lights from the village of Chester, running into my village, Yeovil, sir, Rising Sun, Perth, Abari, and all these areas still without light. The honorable member, Mr. Robeson, then promised me the last time. He said he's going to light me up. Sir, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Is this a better way of dealing with government? Mr. Speaker, vulnerable groups. There are young girls in Region 5 who are leaving their homes in search of jobs in the interior. They are often promised by dredge owners they are going to become cooks, which is referred by heirs. But instead, they are fallen victims of trafficking in person syndrome. The government is saying that this does not exist. Mr. Speaker, it is clear in the indication of the authorities' unwillingness to seriously address trafficking in persons. And Mr. Speaker, this needs urgent attention. The Child Protection Division in Region 5 needs a complete overhaul. And I've said it before, sir, and I'm saying it again. The region needs the officers are not working in the interest of region's children. They are not responding positively to reports. Mr. Speaker, very often we have to depend on the probation and welfare service officers to rescue children in distress. Urgent attention needs to be given to the Child Protection Division in Region 5 so that we can get what is best for our children. Let us not forget, Mr. Speaker, that a government that governs best is a government that respects the people and takes on board their legitimate interests and desires. Mr. Speaker, the Hugo Chavez Center was commissioned in 2013, and it is supposed to accommodate 100 males and 80 females. However, there's nothing happening, and there is so much homeless round and about, even in front of the Parliament. Mr. Speaker, this center, will it be another white telephone? That is the concerns of the people in Region 5. Mr. Speaker, the issue is long outstanding, and government needs to address this immediately so that the poor people can get what they due. Health is another problem. I have pleaded for a malaria center in Region 5 urgently, and it is not forthcoming. Sanitation, sir, we had 3 landfilling sites that was identified, but the residents objected because there was no proper consultation. with them. So I hope that the Honorable Minister will revisit the situation and find a solution. Mr. Speaker, Sea and River Defense continue to be a very alarming situation in Region 5, especially in the profit fouls going right on to 37 area. The Atlantic Ocean is coming in. And I'm saying, sir, that this year, the minister needs to spend more money and undertake these kind of solutions. Also, Mr. Speaker, road and river and bridges, while the government boasts about their accomplishment of roads and bridges, I want to highlight the poor quality of work for large sums of money. In some areas, the quality of work is highly questionable. Mr. Speaker, if chip seal or bitumen is being used in Village A, then the same must be used in Village B. Let there be a level playing field. There are some areas that need urgent attention, like Burma, Mr. Speaker. Number 28 and 30 and the cross streets in 30, number 28 Carmichael Street, and south and north of the public road, Calcutta Cross Streets, Rosick Knoll, and the list go on and on. Here again, the budgetary allocation for Region 5 continue to be inadequate. Hence, the affairs of the region are not properly administered. And Mr. Speaker, it's hindering development in all the sectors. In concluding, sir, the national budget of 2014 is before the House, and the debate is ongoing, while the nation follows with keen interest. The APNU will ensure that the government is put on path where it governs in the interest of the people of Guyana. Guyana cannot continue in its present state of poverty, conflict, and stagnation. Mr. Speaker, if we allow this to happen, none of us, nor the generation to come, will enjoy a good life. The majority of us will remain poor, dissatisfied, and deprived. Sir, no one will be able to realize and fulfill their hopes. Guyanese have a right to know how their monies are being spent. Sir, the APNU aim is to make this parliament meaningful. An area to take note, sir, is that during 2013, we denied spending in some areas, and the government went ahead and withdrew from the consolidated fund, a deliberate violation of the laws and contempt for the National Assembly. Nowhere in the universe these things happen, sir. Where are we going? Mr. Speaker, if this will be a better Guyana, I would not want to be around for the worst. I always believe in getting my roses whilst I'm alive so that I could smell the fragrance, sir. This is the main focus, to make inputs and shape decisions, especially those that affect us directly. Therefore, in closing, Mr. Speaker, I say, Region 5 awaits a better Guyana for all Guyanese. Sir, I'm a religious person, and I want to close by saying this. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27 to 28 reminds us, do not withhold good from those who deserve it, when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I will give you tomorrow, when you can give them today. Mr. Speaker, I hope the government will give to Region 5 today what is due. Thank you very much.